Hi, I'm Peter Knight. Are you one of those golfers who struggles with directional consistency and also control of the shots that you're playing? Control of the strike even? Chances are it could be because of the way you hold the golf club. I've created this channel to help you become the best golfer you possibly can be. Now, in order to get each of the weekly videos that I put out, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and also the grey bell-shaped notification icon so you don't miss any of them. I've been coaching for a long time, and through my own experiences and also the experiences of thousands of golfers that I've helped, I know how important it is to hold the golf club correctly. I also know that it's not a natural thing, and it does need some coaching and it needs some persistence with making sure you hold it correctly. So let's have a look today at how we're going to go about learning the grip in the right way. Because of how we're put together skeletally with bones in our hands and arms, the way we hold the club is going to be pretty much the same for all players. Like I said, it's not a natural thing. So let's have a look and see how, first of all, the left hand should go on the club. When I'm holding the club, first of all, the side of the grip is going to go across my hand from the crease in my palm here to about the middle of that first bone in my forefinger. So if I'm placing my hand, the club across my hand that way, when I close it, the fleshy part of my hand here is sitting on top of the grip. Now I can feel that and you can see that there's quite a gap there between the grip and part of the palm of my hand. I don't want to hold the club so tightly that I'm going to close that gap down. I just want to hold the club fairly lightly. If we have a look at the grip from front on, we can see that my left thumb is running straight down the grip, but not straight down the top of the grip. And that's a common mistake that a lot of players will make. So first of all, my grip is slightly right of center. Imagine I've got a clock face here, 12 o'clock here. This is 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock on this side. So my thumb is at around about 1 o'clock. Another checkpoint that I've got is that when I look at the back of my left hand, I can see either 2 knuckles or 3 knuckles on the back of my hand when I'm looking straight down. And another checkpoint is that if I look at my wrist here, so if I'm holding my hand and my wrist is in a vertical position here, that's horizontal. When I hold the club, my wrist is almost vertical. So a lot of players I see will hold the club and the wrist is more horizontal than vertical at address. So left hand, club runs across the palm, left thumb slightly right of center for a right-handed golfer. I can see 2 or 3 knuckles on the back of my hand and my wrist is quite vertical. Now let's have a look at the right hand. For most right-handed golfers are right-handed people. So the thought is that you want to have as much control, as much strength as you can in your right hand. Unfortunately, that usually leads to holding the club incorrectly. So let's have a look. With the right hand, I want the bottom of the grip to run across the joints of my fingers here. So my ring finger here, the very first joint there, that's where the club goes across to the end joint of my forefinger. So when I place my club on my fingers there, it looks like this. When I close my hand, my left thumb is going to sit along the middle of my right hand. So now my right hand is held much more in the fingers. And like I was saying with the left hand, there's quite a bit of the palm of the right that feels like it's not in contact with anything. That's quite okay. Now my right thumb is actually sitting on the left side of the grip. And a couple of other checkpoints we've got. One is that the knuckle on my right forefinger is sitting behind the grip, not underneath it. And one final checkpoint to make sure that both hands are going to be able to work together is that a line formed between my thumb and forefinger on my left hand and on my right hand are both pointed somewhere between my collar and my right shoulder there. So now I've got my hands matched up to the club face. When I'm holding my club here, the bottom of the club is running straight up and down. The leading edge of the club is running straight up and down. And I can see that my hands are matched up nicely to it. Like I said, that is not going to feel natural to start with. It will take you some practice. And what I would suggest is that you spend a little bit of time practicing the grip, even when you're not practicing. Every time you play a shot, whether it's you're on the range or on the golf course is place your hands first correctly on the club so that you're matching your hands to the club face, and then play your shot. Holding the club correctly is going to have an influence on the way you swing the golf club, but because it's a positive change in the way that you're holding your hands on the club, it's going to have a positive influence on the way you swing the golf club. So take some care with learning the golf grip, work through that period where it does feel uncomfortable, and then go forward from there. Now, when you're placing your hands on the club, we've got three options of how you hold the club. You can either hold the club with all of the fingers of your right hand on the grip. You can hold it so that the little finger of your right hand overlaps the forefinger of your left, or you can interlock the forefinger of the left and the little finger of the right. One thing that doesn't change, however, is the positioning of your right hand. So watching from the front, I've got all of the fingers of my right hand on the grip. I'm now overlapping, and now I'm interlocking. And watching from where you're sitting, you can't really see much difference in my right hand. So I'm not suddenly changing my right hand with those grips. Find the grip that you feel most comfortable with, even though I know it's not going to feel very comfortable to start with. Persist with it, use it for all of your shots, and then within a few weeks, you'll actually start to see the results of that. That'll feel more comfortable, but you should actually see a noticeable improvement in your directional control immediately.